Off air now too.
Kanan, you got it now? Okay, cool. I had my thing doing some weird things here. What is that about?
The air was going back. The air was going crazy.
No, I'm good now. It was off for a second. I wonder if this got on that.
Why is that doing that?
That's the mics on. I got the mics. I think my.
Y'all going live 26 minutes before tip-off.
What?
Why are y'all going live 26?
Testing.
Huh?
He was just testing.
Having trouble with
The internet's going in and out here. We were trying to see if we could get on or not. He turned it back on.
There's got to be other ways to test and to tell your audience you're going live, though. Because what they're going to do is they're going to tune in, see nothing's going wrong, turn it off. And then get another one and see that it's going to be the
Anybody
same
who's really
thing.
interested knows that that don't make
That's
sense.
Nathan for you, man. That's the only way you can do it.
Why is Nathan doing it? I thought he was an operations manager.
He's the backup internet guy. Our internet guy's in Liberty. It's spring break.
It's not spring break for me.
What is spring break?
Summertime. And I got nothing going on. Are you off right now? Are you on? Are we on right now?
No, he just got the thing. The thing on. It's just a picture.
I don't want everybody hearing me.
It's just a picture.
If I throw up a couple of middle fingers, it's probably done.
Yeah, it's just that.
I'm glad the man don't play again this week.
.6 per game, and actually handled Gulf Coast pretty easily in their last game down in Perkinston, 67-43. The Lady Bears were victorious. The national anthem, let's pick that up before we get more information to you. The national anthem here from the inside the Southwest Basketball Center. The final score was 67-43. Last time these two teams met, the Bears put 3 in double figures. Etienne had 19, McGee had 15, and Sidney Tango with 11. All 5 starters have scored in that basketball game. Jade Miles, who the Bears are without tonight, scored 3 points, while Jerrion Owens put 8 in the basket for the Bears in that basketball game. You look at the Bears' leading scorer, it is Shyla McGee with 16.2 on the season. Etienne, though, with 14 on the season for the Lady Bears, right there as the 2 leading scorers for Southwest. For Mississippi Gulf Coast, they come in 3-6 on the year. They are 2-6 in conference play, but they've won their last 2. They beat Colin 62-47, then they won an 89-80 decision over Hines back on March the 4th. They averaged 57.7 points per game. Their leading scorer is Sharisha Bridges, who wears number 32, the freshman, averaging 11 points per game on the year for Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Let's look at these two teams. We get ready for women's action. By the way, the men down in Perkinston tonight, you'll remember Coach Brian Bender's Bears won on a buzzer beater here a couple of weeks ago, 76-74. The Bears won on a buzzer beater. They're down at Gulf Coast tonight as Gulf Coast and the Bears battle. The Bear men, of course, have lost 4 in a row, looking to get back to their winning ways, while Gulf Coast is 3-7 in conference play. The Bears are 6-5 in conference play in men's action. We'll try to keep an eye on that game as it progresses, of course, throughout the evening. Well, let's step aside for 2 minutes. We'll come back after a 2-minute break right here on Bear TV and WAZA 107.7 FM. We return starting lineups and, of course, the play-by-play from inside the Southwest Basketball Center on First Bank Court. You're listening to Lady Bear Basketball on WAZA and Bear TV.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the barriers. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, welcome back inside the Southwest Basketball Center, First Bank Court. We get ready for women's basketball. It is the ladies of Mississippi Gulf Coast and Coach Hope Adams, who, by the way, is assisted by Jonathan Williams, and a name that everyone back here will recognize, Jason Kennedy, the third assistant on that staff. Of course, Jason Kennedy with ties to the Pike County area. His dad, the longtime minister there at New Heights Baptist Church, Rick Kennedy. So kind of a homecoming for him as he's assistant coach on that Mississippi Gulf Coast squad. And, of course, we talked earlier, Coach Brent Harris, Dr. Britta Stevens on that side for the Bears of Southwest Mississippi Community College. Well, Michael Gunnell, public address announcer, getting ready to give us the starting lineups here at the Southwest Basketball Center. So we will wait the 21 seconds for that buzzer to sound, and then we will join him to get the official starting lineup as it goes out to the crowd. Of course, it is spring break here on the campus. Here's the starting lineups.
At guard, 5'6" sophomore from Fayette. Number 3, Taylor Hammett. At guard, a 5'5" sophomore from Moselle. Number 10, Kelsey Jackson. At guard, a 5'10" freshman from Macomb. Number 24, Alicia Tucker. At guard, a 5'8" freshman from Columbus. Number 21, Anaya Sadler. And at forward, a 6'2" freshman from Jackson. Number 32, Cerise Bridges. The head coach for Gulf Coast is Hope Adams. Her assistant is Jonathan Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for yours, Southwest Lady Bears. At guard, 5'8" sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. Number 1, Michaela Etienne. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore from Philadelphia. Number 10, Taylor Benn. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Biloxi. Number 14, Shyla McGee. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore from Carson. Number 23, Sydney Petco. And at center, 6'4" sophomore from Taylorsville. Number 32, Jerryon Owen. The head coach of the Lady Bears in his 9th season is Brent Harris. He is assisted by Dr. Britta Stevens.
Well, the starting lineups have gone out to this crowd. Let's give them to you again. It will be Hammett, Jackson, Tucker, Sadler, and Bridges on the floor for Gulf Coast. For the Lady Bears, it's Etienne, Ben, McGee, Tangle, and Jerryon Owens. By the way, 2 not playing tonight. 22 Johnson and 2 Harris not playing for Gulf Coast. The Bears, Jade Miles will not play in this basketball game. She wears number 24. Of course, Jade done for the season for the Southwest Lady Bears. Well, we're ready to tip this one in the air and get this one going. Jerryon Owens and Bridges will jump it. Bridges out of Callaway Jackson. It's up and controlled by Gulf Coast, and we're underway. Gulf Coast with the basketball. They'll bring it across the timeline with Jackson. Jackson with the basketball, top of the key, goes quickly over to Hammett. Hammett gets it back up top. Gulf Coast trying to find the open shot here early. They go to the corner, fire the 3 ball. That one off the rim, no good from Tucker. Bears get it back. Here comes Etienne. Etienne down the floor. Etienne will give it to Ben. Ben down in the corner, draws the double team. Hands it quickly to McGee. McGee's jumper put up, won't go. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the other end with Jackson. Jackson goes underneath the Bridges. Bridges bounces it back out for Gulf Coast. Now they'll go back underneath the Bridges, and she'll juke, jive, and go in underneath for a basket. Nice job by Bridges there to turn around and get it, and Gulf Coast takes the early lead. McGee the basketball over to Ben. Taylor Ben with the basketball down in the corner to Tangle. Tangle hands it to Owens. Owens, the quick shot won't go. Bears right back there to get the rebound with Shyla McGee and tied it to. Boy, Shyla McGee in the right place at the right time. That time down the floor for the Bears. And she grabs the offensive rebound and the putback for Southwest. 8:41 clock running, tied 2 apiece here on a Monday night. That basketball belongs to Gulf Coast. Top of the key with it. Over into the hands now of Carter, and it bounces off the hands of Hammett out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Bears. So some bad passing that time, and Hammett will leave as they will get checked into this basketball game. Number 11, that's Beverly Tillman, who will check in for Gulf Coast. So Tillman on the floor for the first time for Gulf Coast. Here comes Southwest. Etienne goes back over to Tangle, and Tangle gets the 3. Boy, I lost her name there for a minute. Sydney Tangle in the corner gets the 3 ball, makes it a 5-2 game. Basketball belongs to Gulf Coast. Here they come back on the offensive end. Basketball top of the key with Tucker. Tucker looking for some help, goes to the corner. Now they go underneath the Tillman, and traveling called against Tillman. Tillman will be called with traveling. Sadler gets in for Bridges, so put Sadler in for Bridges. Bears will stay with their same 5 on the floor in this 5-2 game. Now we got the official and Michaela Etienne chatting about something. I think Etienne's got a earring. I think she's got to have it removed. That's what it is. She was telling her an earring, so she'll have to come out. Anaya White will check in for her, so White checks in for Etienne. Etienne out of the game for a moment as they make that change. White top of the key with the basketball. 7:42 to play. Basketball in the hands of Jerrion Owens, and timeout called by Coach Brent Harris. He saw something he didn't like, and he calls the timeout and wants to talk it over with the Lady Bears. 5-2, Lady Bears lead at 7:39 to play here in the opening period. Boy, these Lady Bears, by the way, going to be busy this week. The rest of the games, though, going to be away. They're going to make 2 games up this week. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. The Lady Bears will make the trip to East Central to make that game with East Central up. And then Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, the Lady Bears will make a game up with Pearl River down at Pearl River. So 3 games across the spring break week for the Lady Bears. They inbound it to Ben. Ben goes to Tangle. They go underneath. That one slapped away by Jackson underneath. And the Lady Bears will inbound it with 6 showing on the shot clock, up 5-2. Bears give it to Tangle. Tangle the quick 3, fires it, no good. Gulf Coast the rebound. Here they come back down the floor. Gulf Coast in a hurry, down in the corner. Jukes drives, looks back this way, and off the hands of a outstretched Tucker, but Tucker able to get it back. Gulf Coast will have it again. Gulf Coast top of the key with it. In the hands of Jackson. Jackson gets rid of it to Sadler. Sadler gives it back to her. Now down in the corner, 3-ball put up by Tucker, no good. The put back in and good by Catchings. Catchings got the put back, makes it a 1-point game. 5-4, 6:52 to play. Taylor Ben with the basketball. Ben goes to Tangle. Underneath now to McGee. McGee towards the hoop, jukes around and gets it. Nice job, Shyla McGee. Kind of scooped around the defender that time and got it to fall. 7-4, the Lady Bears lead it. Tillman with the basketball. Tillman gives it to Jackson. Jackson working top of the key with it, will give it to Sadler. Sadler will give it back to her. Now they go to the corner. Back out of the corner with it is Gulf Coast, and underneath to Sadler. Back out now into the hands of Tucker. Tucker gets rid of it quickly to Jackson, and she'll go underneath, put a shot up. It won't fall. Here come the Lady Bears with White. White finds a hole, and she'll take it coast to coast, lays it off, no good off the rim. Boy, White had the uninhabited path, but couldn't get that one to fall for the Lady Bears. It goes out of bounds, and they'll say last touched by Southwest. Etienne will check in. Taylor Ben will go to the bench for the Bears with 6 to play here in the opening period. Basketball belongs to Jackson. Jackson with the basketball, flips it across to the corner. Back up top. Now they go back over to this corner to Jackson. Underneath, a shot put up by Catchings, won't fall. Here come the Lady Bears back with the rebound. Bears will give it to White. White, top of the key with it to McGee. McGee to Etienne. Etienne with the basketball. Flips it back over to White. White's 3-ball put up won't go. Here comes Gulf Coast now back on the offensive end with the basketball. Gulf Coast working top of the key to Jackson. Jackson with it. Looking around, hands it back up top of the key. Gulf Coast going to try to look for the open shot here. They find it. 3-ball out of the corner is put up, no good by Tucker. Tucker was wide open, put the 3-ball up, couldn't get it to fall. Etienne brings it down for the Bears to White. White has it over to Tangle. Tangle with the basketball for the Bears, back up to the top of the key with White. White with the basketball, goes to Owens. Owens to McGee underneath. McGee fadeaway up, no good. McGee put the fadeaway up that time, couldn't get it to fall for the Bears. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end with Jackson. Jackson with the basketball. Jackson goes to Sadler. Sadler working over to Tucker. Now they go back underneath. That one up, no good, and a foul going to be called as Catchings was underneath the goal in the first foul of this basketball game, going to go against the Bears. They call it on McGee, so McGee going to pick up her first foul of this basketball game, and Catchings will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. First one for Catchings is good. Catchings makes it a 7-5 game. But she makes the first. Catchings will have a second free throw due. Second free throw for Catchings. That one up and good. Catchings will make them both. Makes it a 7-6 game. Bears will now be able to make their substitutions as they will get Courtney Bradford in, and also Daisy Wansley will check in for the first time. Bears with the basketball, working it to Etienne in the corner. Etienne checks it to Bradford. Bradford checks it right back to her. Top of the key with it, 4:18 in the clock running. Now White's three ball out of the corner is up, no good. Bradford on a fight for the rebound, but it's Bridges who comes down with it. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end in a 1-point game. Gulf Coast going to throw it around, and whoa, McGee comes in and steals it but couldn't hang on to it. Shyla came in to steal it but couldn't hang on to it for the Lady Bears. Basketball will be owned by Gulf Coast. They'll take it in right there in front of the Bear bench. Bring it to the top of the key with it to Jackson. Jackson will hand it to Tucker. Tucker puts it on the floor, gets rid of it, back to Tillman. Tillman back to Jackson. Now they want to go underneath to the outstretched arms of Bridges. Her shot put up won't go. And a fight for the rebound. It'll go to the Bears. Bears have the basketball. They'll inbound it to White. 3:43 clock running here in the opening period. White with the basketball at the top. White hands it to Bradford. Bradford hands it right back to her. Now they go to Wansley. Wansley touches it for a moment to White. Now to Etienne. Etienne thought about the three, put it on the floor. Gives it back to White. Shot clock to 7, down to 6. Now 5, White, long 2, put up good for the Bears. Anaya White's 2, put up good for the Bears, makes it a 9-6 game. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end. Bridges, the fadeaway. Her jump shot won't go. McGee the rebound. She's coming in a hurry for the Bears. Now she'll slow it back down, give it to White. White with the basketball for Southwest. White gives it to Etienne. Etienne goes to Bradford, over to Wansley. Wansley with the basketball for Southwest. Wansley goes back to White, now into McGee. McGee underneath, the one-hander in and good. Shyla McGee's got 6 of the Bears' 11 points here in the early going. Basketball belongs to the Gulf Coast Bulldogs and Jackson. Jackson will give it to Tillman. Now it's up top with Tucker. Again, Gulf Coast going to try to throw this one around, look for a shot. Off, no good, off the hands of Sadler. Bears get it with Etienne. Here comes Etienne to slow it down. 2:16 showing on this first quarter clock. Lady Bears leading it 11-6. Anaya White with the basketball, top of the key. White goes to Wansley. Wansley with the basketball. Wansley stops, gives it to Etienne. Etienne goes to White underneath. Her shot put up won't go. Bears have to play defense here. Gulf Coast grabs the rebound with Jackson. Jackson top of the key, 1:49, the clock running to Tillman. And now timeout taken. Is it the Bears? I think so. We'll see. It's Gulf Coast who takes timeout. So Gulf Coast will take a 30-second timeout. 11-6, 1:45 to play first quarter. Don't forget, busy week here on campus. You want to find out more about this women's basketball program, don't forget Inside Bear Athletics comes your way 6 o'clock tomorrow night, our special spring break edition of Inside Bear Athletics. We'll talk with Dr. Britta Stevens, assistant coach of the women's basketball team. We'll also have a couple of player spotlights. Daisy Wansley and also Sydney Tangle will join us. It's all Lady Bear basketball tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Inside Bear Athletics. On the social media platforms of Southwest Mississippi Community College. It is, of course, powered by Bear TV. We look forward to that those ladies joining us tomorrow night on the spring break edition of Inside Bear Athletics. Well, Gulf Coastal on the basketball. They'll bring it in front of us. Sadler will bring it in to Jackson. Jackson top of the key with it, has the basketball, and a travel called. She gave it to Tillman, and Tillman lost control of it for a moment. So Tillman lost it, kind of regaining the basketball, ends up traveling. Etienne with the basketball. Etienne top of the key with it for the Lady Bears. Etienne goes to Gallagher. Gallagher over to Wansley. Wansley will give it to Tangle, and Tangle trying to go underneath, back to Gallagher again, and this one going to be slapped away by Gulf Coast. So Gulf Coast will slap it away, and the Lady Bears will keep it. Wansley will check out. Aaliyah Carey going to check in for the Lady Bears. So Wansley to the Bear bench, Carey into this one with 1:28 showing. Into Carey. Carey automatically fires a three, and that one's good. Aaliyah Carey checks in, finds her spot, and fires a three. 14-6, Lady Bears lead this one. Gulf Coast with the basketball. Gulf Coast top of the key with it. Hands it to McNeary. It goes underneath. They want to find the Catchings underneath, and a foul called. They got it to Catchings, but the foul called. It's on Courtney Bradford. Her first. The Bears pick up their second foul. Catchings the first free throw in and good. Catchings has all but two of the Bulldog points. Bridges has the other basket. Second free throw's good. Catchings a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line here in the opening period. 14-8 the score. Lady Bears will ask Gallagher to bring it in. Gallagher will give it to Etienne. 1:04 clock has started here on the closing moments of this opening quarter. Carey with the basketball to Gallagher. Gallagher goes to Tangle. Tangle top of the key with it for Southwest. Tangle gives it to Etienne. Etienne up top with it. Shot clock down to 10. Down to 9. Etienne's long two. She fires it, no good. Rebound picked up by Gulf Coast. 40 seconds to play. Here comes Gulf Coast. They're in a hurry. Didn't have to be, and she double dribbled. Boy, Hammett got in a hurry. She didn't have to be with 37 seconds remaining, but she double dribbles the basketball. Bears lead at 14-8. Gallagher will check out. And it's Jerrion Owens who will check back in for the Lady Bears. No, excuse me. Yeah, it is Jerrion Owens who checks back in for the Bears. Abby Gallagher will go to the bench. And now the Bears going to get called for the double dribble on Etienne. So each team double dribbles the basketball right back where we started, with Gulf Coast owning possession of it with 28.9 to play here in the opening period. Bears will check Taylor Bean back in for Sydney Tangle. Tangle will check in to play defense for the Bears here in the final 23 seconds. Basketball belongs to Jackson. Jackson to Catchings up top. Catchings flips it to Epps. Now they throw it around, does Gulf Coast. Finally, it ends up in the hands of Jackson. 9 seconds to play. Jackson into the lane. Shot put up, and she traveled before the shot. So Kelsey Jackson going to get charged with the travel. Jackson, who wears number 10 out of South Jones High School. Bears will make another substitution here. They get Carey and Bradford out. Taylor Bean and McGee going to check back in. Bears will let it roll to midcourt. Etienne will pick it up at midcourt. Goes to the corner. Taylor Bean all by herself for the three ball up. Won't go, and that's the end of the first quarter. Bears had the look they wanted with Taylor Bean, but it wouldn't fall. 10 minutes down. 14-8, Lady Bears lead it. We'll come back after a 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds, Lady Bear basketball on WAZA and Bear TV.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rode with the Cowboys, I barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say, though, is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, back here at Southwest Mississippi Community College inside the Southwest Basketball Center First Bank Court on this Monday evening. Lady Bears lead it 14-8 after one period. We go into the second quarter of action. Don't forget, Lady Bears got 3 games this week. They're at East Central Wednesday night. They make the trip to Pearl River Saturday afternoon. A couple of makeup games on this spring break week for the Lady Bears. Owens has the basketball for the Bears. She'll go to McGee. McGee's jumper put up, won't go. McGee now underneath, had her on rebound, but had it taken away. Hammett took it away from her. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end in the hands of Jackson. Jackson goes to Hammett. Hammett wants to go to the hoop. She'll put it in and good. Hammett put it in and good to make it a 14-10 game. That puts Gulf Coast to within 4. Taylor Ben with the basketball for the Bears. Ben goes to Tangle. Tangle goes to Etienne, and now it's taken away. Etienne wanted to go to Owens underneath, and Gulf Coast takes that one away. Here comes Gulf Coast with Jackson back on the offensive end. Jackson stole it away. She'll give it to Tucker. Now they want to go back underneath to the outstretched arms, but they won't, and it's fiddled around, and the Bears come out with it. Bears get it to Tangle down the floor. Sydney Tangle draws the triple team, gets it back to McGee. McGee's 3 put up, won't go for the Bears. Ben saves that one. Ben saved it to Etienne. Etienne gives it back to Ben. Ben to the hoop, shot put up, that won't go for the Lady Bears. Lady Bears hitting a bit of a dry spell here as they can't get the biscuit to fall in the basket. And now underneath we get a shot and a foul. Jackson will get the basket and the foul. They call it on Taylor Ben, who picks up her first. The basket will make it a 14-12 game as they called charging. So take the basket away. They call that one not against Taylor Ben, but against Kelsey Jackson offensively. It was Jackson and Ben fighting. They get Jackson on the offensive charge. Stays 14-10 here at the basketball center. Erase Jackson's basket. Basketball belongs to the Bears. Bears have it underneath with Owens. Owens has it knocked out of her hands. Etienne there to save it. Puts the one-hander up. It won't go. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end with the basketball. Gulf Coast goes underneath the Catchings and a foul called, and it's offensively against Gulf Coast. They call the foul on Catchings. That's the second against Gulf Coast. Boy, Gulf Coast went the entire first period without a foul. Now they picked 2 quick ones up on both of them on the offensive end. White with the basketball for Southwest. She'll bring it length of the floor. White looking for Wansley. She can't find her. Now Wansley has to come back and help her. Wansley grabs the basketball. Goes out to Etienne. Etienne, the long 3, puts that one up. It won't go. Etienne's 3 from way downtown won't go. Now Gulf Coast wants to get into this basketball game. Number 15, that's Cronin who's going to check in. Here comes Gulf Coast on the offensive end with 7.5 to play. Gulf Coast with the basketball. Tucker flips it down in the corner. Back up into the middle, and a shot put up by Tucker won't go. Bears get the rebound. Bears give it to White. White will bring it across the timeline for Southwest. Bears go to Etienne. Etienne goes back to Wansley with it. Wansley flips it back out to White. White with the basketball for the Bears will bring it back up top. White brings it back up top, heads to that left corner. Gets it to Etienne to McGee. McGee to Wansley. Wansley sets, fires the 3. That won't go for the Bears. Boy, the Bears can't seem to find a basket right here in the second quarter as they've yet to find a basket. 3 ball put up on the other side, no good. Put up, no good. Second effort by Tucker, and she'll draw the foul. It's on Jerion Owens. So Owens will pick up the foul, and to the free throw line will go Gulf Coast.
At the line, shooting 2 for Gulf Coast, number 24, Tucker.
It's Tucker, the Macomb product, to shoot a pair. First one up, good. Tucker makes her first free throw. Makes it 14-11. Second free throw for Tucker. That one up good too. Tucker will make both free throws, 14-12. Those free throws make it a 2-point game. Bears with the basketball with White. White with the basketball for Southwest. White working it to McGee. McGee in the lane gives it to Wansley. Wansley underneath to Bradford. That's wide open. Courtney Bradford with a basket for the Bears. And the Bears get on the board here in the second quarter with Courtney Bradford. Gulf Coast back with the basketball in the hands of Epps. Epps wants to get it around. It ends up on the other end with Tucker. Tucker goes underneath to Crowan, and she traveled. Traveling called underneath on Gulf Coast. It'll go back to the Bears. 16-12, 6:04 to play. Bears with the basketball with 6 to play. White will bring it down for Southwest. White will bring it across the timeline. White goes to Tangle. Tangle back up top to Wansley. Wansley flips it back to White. Now they go underneath. It goes to McGee. McGee's one-hander put up, won't go. Fight for the rebound, and it's McGee that comes back out with it. Nice job not to give up by McGee that time for the Bears to get it back. Bears give it to White. White goes back to Tangle. Tangle the long three, good. Sydney Tangle with her long three, good to make it a 19-12 game. 5:24 clock running here in this second quarter. Basketball belongs in the hands of Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast working with it up top. Hands it to Epps. Epps with the basketball. Epps goes back to the corner. Now they flip it out to Sadler. Sadler got rid of it to Tucker, and her jumper's good. Tucker's jumper is good. Tucker, the Macomb product, with four of the 6 points here in the second quarter for Gulf Coast. Bears have it with McGee, and McGee wanted to go to underneath the Tangle, but the throw off its mark, and the turnover will give it back to Gulf Coast. McGee will take a seat. Gallagher will check in for her and play some minutes here with 4:44 remaining in this second quarter. Basketball belongs to Gulf Coast. They go to the top with Sadler. Sadler down in the lane, jumper in and good. Anaya Sadler with the jumper in and good, makes it 19-16. White with the basketball for the Bears, 4:25 to play. She'll give it to Tangle. Tangle goes back to White. White underneath. Did she step out of bounds? She did. Tried to go all the way back underneath the basket. They say she stepped out of bounds with it. Basketball goes back the way of Gulf Coast. Jackson with it. She'll bring it across the timeline. Jackson tripped up but able to get out of the double dribble that time. They'll go underneath. Outstretched arms of Tucker, and it won't go. Now a fight for the rebound and a jump ball called. A jump ball possession arrowed the way of Gulf Coast. So the Bulldogs will get it on the change of possession, and they'll inbound it underneath their own goal. They inbound it underneath their own goal, working it up top into the hands of Sadler. Sadler goes back over to the corner. They give it right back to Catchings, and this time she gets the basket. Catchings gets the basket, makes it a 1-point game. 19-18, Lady Bears lead it. 3:44 to play. Basketball belongs to the Lady Bears. Wansley will give it to Gallagher. Gallagher goes to Tangle. Tangle back up to Wansley. Wansley back out to White up top with it. 10 showing on the shot clock. White wants to shoot the three ball. That one's up, no good. Rebound picked up by Gulf Coast. Here they come back on the offensive end. Gulf Coast back on the offensive end with a three ball in and good. My McNary, who gets the three and gives Gulf Coast their first lead. They led it 2-0. Now they lead it 21-19. Bears with the basketball with Gallagher. Gallagher will give it to White. White lays that one in and good. Anaya White to lay that one in for the Lady Bears, and we're tied at 21. Gulf Coast working on this other end with Sadler. Sadler's long two, in and good. Sadler's two is good, makes it 23-21. Boy, Gulf Coast getting hot on the offensive end. Bears trying to get their baskets going again too. Gallagher with the basketball. Gallagher gives it to Wansley. Wansley to White. White, three ball up, won't fall for the Bears. Gallagher was fighting for the rebound, and now a jump ball called, and the basket will belong with the Bears. Bears want to get Etienne, Ben, and McGee back in. It's White, Gallagher, no, it's White, Tangle, and Wansley who will take a seat. Gallagher will stay on. 23-21, the lead two. Now Gulf Coast wants to make some changes. Now Gallagher will step out and Tangle will stay in. Tangle stays in, shoots a three, rolls it around the rim, it won't go. 23-21, Gulf Coast leads it. Basketball with Hammett. Hammett gets it to Jackson. Jackson flips it underneath to Sadler, and Sadler puts one in and good. Makes it 25-21. 4-point game now with 2 minutes to play before halftime. Bears give it to Bradford. Bradford gets it to Etienne. Over to Taylor Ben. Ben with the basketball for the Bears. Puts it on the floor and gives it to Gallagher, and the jump ball called. Gallagher hesitated for a second, picked it up, and the jump ball called. Change of possession again, and this time it will go the way of Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast will get Alicia Tucker back into this basketball game with 1:45 to play before halftime. Basketball belongs to Gulf Coast, 1:43 to play. Into the hands of Jackson. Jackson with it. Jackson brings it across the timeline. 25-21 the score here at First Bank Court. Going to the corner, stolen away by McGee, but she couldn't hang on to it. McGee stole it, couldn't hang on to it for the Lady Bears. Gulf Coast will inbound it here in front of us. Basketball will go with the McNary. McNary hands it down in the corner to Harris. Harris gets rid of it into the outstretched arms of Tucker. Tucker has to get rid of it. Shot clock expiring. They put the shot up, and the Bears will grab the rebound as the shot clock was expiring. That one for the Bears will go to Etienne with 1:06 to play. Etienne will give it to Carey. Carey to Wansley. Back over to Etienne. Underneath to McGee, and a foul called. That one's on the floor against Tucker. It's on the floor against Tucker. So the Lady Bears will get a 20 put on the shot clock. Wansley will check out. They'll get Jerrion Owens back in for the Bears. Now they will get Bradford to check out as well. Bears will get it underneath with Etienne. Etienne gives it to McGee. McGee in traffic working. Her shot put up won't go, but boy, it's almost a pass as it ends up in Owens' hands, and now she has it knocked away from her, and they'll say it was last touched by the Lady Bears. Lady Bears last to touch it with 44 seconds to play. 25-21, Gulf Coast leads this one. Gulf Coast with McNary in the corner. She'll shoot a jumper in, and that one off its mark. Carey grabs the rebound for the Bears to Etienne. Etienne will bring it down the floor for Southwest. 27 seconds to play. About a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock with Tangle. Tangle to Etienne underneath, off the basket, won't fall, and a foul called on Gulf Coast and Hammett. Hammett called for the foul. Bears will get it back with 17.3 to play. Shot clock turned off. Bears go to Tangle. Tangle's three good. Sydney Tangle with three balls in the first half. Bears down one with 8 seconds to play here in the first half. Gulf Coast with the basketball, looking for a shot with McNary. She'll get rid of it. Long three put up. It's good. If it falls, it won't fall. And that's how we'll go to the locker room. 25-24, Gulf Coast by 1 as we complete the first half of this one. We'll step aside for a 2-minute break. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Run the numbers on this one after a 2-minute break. Back in 2 minutes, Bear basketball right here on WAZA and Bear TV. Ask Gunnell what the link is to watch the men's game. That one's not working.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, nobody in double figures in the first half of this basketball game, leading for Gulf Coast with 8 first half points. It's TK Catchings with 8. Sadler has 6. Tucker with 4, McNary with 3 and 2 apiece for Bridges and Hammett in this basketball game for Gulf Coast. That's a look at the scoring. Fouls 1 apiece for Hammett, Jackson, Catchings, and Tucker. Only 4 fouls called in that first half against Gulf Coast. For the Bears, leading scorer Sidney Tangle, 9 first half points for Tangle. Let's see what we got going on here. We got 6 for McGee, 4 for White. We're trying to get the game going here and check the men's score for you. Let's see. Did baseball coach come through for us? He did. 34-31 at half. You ask Austin Biggs for something, Austin Biggs takes care of it for you. Scoring for the Bears, 9 for Tangle, 6 for McGee, 4 for White, 3 for Carey, and 2 for Bradford. Let's go inside the numbers for the Lady Bears. Bears go 10 of 27 shooting the basketball. They were 37% in that first half. 6 of 15 shooting the 2, 4 of 12 shooting the 3 were the Lady Bears. For Gulf Coast, they were 10 of 28 shooting the basketball. They were 35.7% total. They were 8 of 20 on 2 points, and 2 of 8 shooting the 3 was Gulf Coast. We had 3 lead changes. We were tied twice. The largest lead for the Lady Bears was 11. The largest lead for Gulf Coast was 4. The longest streak unanswered for Gulf Coast was 9. The longest streak unanswered for the Bears was 7. Bears outscored Gulf Coast in the first period 14-8. It's a 28-10, outscoring by Gulf Coast in the second quarter to get us to our score 25-24, Gulf Coast by 1. So Gulf Coast leads it by 1. They outscore the Bears by 10 in the second half to go up by that 25-24 score. We told you watching men's action, the Gulf Coast men leading Southwest 34-31 at the half. So the Bear men down 34-31, the women down 25-24 here at the half. We'll step aside, come back in 2 minutes, and look at what's coming up ahead this week in Southwest Bear Athletics. We'll do that after a 2-minute break. Back in 2 minutes. You're watching Lady Bear basketball on Bear TV. You're listening to Lady Bear basketball on Bear TV.
Now is your time to be a part of an amazing class of students. There's so much going on here at Southwest, you won't want to miss out. We have scholarships available for music ensembles, cheer, and athletic teams. You can be a part of our active and vibrant campus life where students are determined to meet their goals. With our new and remodeled residence halls, you have the convenience of staying on campus or commuting. You can even take classes online. At Southwest, you can get an authentic college experience at a fraction of the cost of a four-year university. You belong here. Southwest Mississippi Community College classes start soon, so schedule an appointment today to get on track to a better you. Find us at www.smcc.edu.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, back here at Southwest Mississippi Community College inside the Southwest Basketball Center First Bank Court, 25-21, Gulf Coast ladies leading Southwest here at the half. We told you the men scored 34-31. Coach Brian Bender's men down at the half as well. Well, coming up here on Southwest campus, boy, even though it's spring break, a lot of athletics going on. On the campus, don't forget Wednesday, the Southwest ladies softball team back in action. They will take on Hines. Bear baseball team will go to Hines Wednesday night. The Bear ladies softball team will be on campus against Hines. It's a 3 o'clock first pitch. We'll have that first game for you on Bear TV. Second game, we're hoping Bear TV and WAZA for that one, as Hines will be in town 3 o'clock first pitch on Wednesday. On the campus, it's all softball for the rest of the week. Saturday, East Mississippi in town to take on the Lady Bears. That's a 1 o'clock first pitch over at Lady Bear Park. And then Sunday, those two makeup games with Coahoma Community College over at Lady Bear Park. They'll throw the first pitch of that one at 12 noon. So that's what's coming up on the campus this week. Softball on Wednesday with Hines in town. Softball Saturday with East Mississippi, and then softball on Sunday with Coahoma in town. Now, athletic-wise, the Southwest Lady Bears basketball team, they have a Wednesday night tilt at East Central and a Saturday afternoon game at Pearl River. The Bear baseball team will also be in action. They're on the road Wednesday night at Hines, and then they'll play at East Mississippi on Saturday. So that's what athletic-wise is going on for your Southwest Bear athletic teams. And, of course, don't forget, join us tomorrow night, a special edition of Inside Bear Athletics, the spring break edition of Inside Bear Athletics. We're going to talk women's basketball. Dr. Britta Stevens, the assistant basketball coach and assistant athletic director here on the Southwest campus, will join us. We'll also have a few Bear spotlights for you. It's women's basketball. Daisy Wansley and Sydney Tangle, the two ladies that'll join us to talk women's basketball. That's coming your way tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on Bear TV, and, of course, all of the social media platforms of the Southwest Mississippi Community College. So a busy week, even though it's spring break on the Bear campus for sure. Well, let's step aside for 2 minutes. We'll come back in 2 minutes, get you set for second half action. Back in 2 minutes to get second half action set. You're watching Lady Bear basketball on Bear TV. You're listening to Lady Bear basketball this evening on 107.7 FM WAZA. We'll return after a 2-minute break.
Now is your time to be a part of an amazing class of students. There's so much going on here at Southwest, you won't want to miss out. We have scholarships available for music ensembles, cheer, and athletic teams. You can be a part of our active and vibrant campus life where students are determined to meet their goals. With our new and remodeled residence halls, you have the convenience of staying on campus or commuting. You can even take classes online. At Southwest, you can get an authentic college experience at a fraction of the cost of a four-year university. You belong here. Southwest Mississippi Community College classes start soon, so schedule an appointment today to get on track to a better you. Find us at www.smcc.edu.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, back here at Southwest Mississippi Community College, First Bancorp 25-24 the halftime score. Both these teams warming up, getting ready for second half action as we get here on this Monday night. Only basketball game on the campus this week. Bear men will, of course, take the break after today and be off the rest of spring break before they get Meridian and Pearl River next week. Lady Bears, of course, on the road Wednesday and Saturday, a couple of makeup games with East Central and Pearl River to make up. Want to send along also, we understand, Coach Kenny Bezot, who coaches the men of Colin, announced earlier today he will be moving on from Colin Community College and will take on the athletic director's job at Mississippi College. So congratulations to Coach Kenny Bezot, who, of course, getting out of coaching and going into coaching administration as he will take on the athletic director's job at Mississippi College with the retiring of Mike Jones. That announcement made earlier today, so we send along our congratulations to him. Well, it looks like the Bears are going to go with their 5 starters to get the second half action started. We'll assume Gulf Coast will do that as well. The men just got back on the floor, 34-31. The Bear men down to Gulf Coast. Over down in Perkinston. We'll try to keep an eye on that one as the second half commences. It was 14-8 Lady Bears after one, 25-24 Gulf Coast after two. Lady Bears outscored Gulf Coast 14-8 in the first period. Gulf Coast outscores the Bears by 10, 20-10 in the second period. That's your quick numbers. Let's play basketball now as the buzzer sounds and we get ready for second half action here on First Bank Court. Bears will inbound it to Etienne. Etienne will bring it across midcourt for Southwest. She'll give it to Owens. Owens with the basketball for the Bears. Owens will give it back to Etienne. They go to McGee underneath. McGee double team going to go to Etienne. Has that one knocked away and it will stay with the Bears. So that one will belong to the Bears. Etienne will bring it in. Bears to the side of their own goal. Etienne charged with bringing it in, gets it to Owens, and she'll put a quick basket in. And Jerrion Owens will score the first basket of the second half. Bears want to bring the full court pressure to Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast able to pass out of it to Tucker. Tucker will give it to Jackson. Jackson feeds it over to Hammett. Hammett gives it back to her, top of his key with it. Now it's into the arms of Tucker. They flip it back around to Jackson. Now they go underneath. The shot put up won't go. Fighting for the rebound, put up, she traveled. Catchings on the rebound and the put back, they call her for traveling. Bears will own this one after the traveling call. 26-25, Lady Bears by one. Etienne will bring it length of the floor for Southwest to Taylor Ben. Ben with the basketball back into the hands of Etienne. 9 minutes to play here, third period. Basketball to Owens. Owens goes underneath to McGee. She'll be fouled. It's on 21. That's Catchings who picks up her first foul of this second half. Buzzed against Gulf Coast, and the Bears will send Shyla McGee to the free throw line. First one for McGee up. Rolls that one off the side of the rim. No good. So McGee will miss the first. Second free throw for McGee. That one up off the front of the rim. That time no good. And they're going to say a lane violation against the Bears and give it to Gulf Coast. McGee went in there, tried to grab her own rebound. They call the lane violation. Inbounds pass knocked away by Taylor Ben. Gulf Coast will have to inbound it again. Now the Bears look like they're content to back off a bit and let them inbound it to Jackson. They'll inbound it to Jackson. Bears pick them up there. Gulf Coast. The long pass to Hammett. Hammett has it taken away underneath by Owens. Owens will give it to McGee. McGee will cross the timeline with it to Etienne. That time it worked for the Bears. To Taylor Ben. Ben goes to Etienne, underneath to McGee now. McGee plants, tries to shoot, lost it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast the last to touch it, out of bounds. Etienne with the basketball to Owens. Owens goes to Tangle. Tangle goes underneath, now back out to McGee. Shyla fires a three, no good. Owens, the putback is good. Jerrion Owens gets the rebound and the putback, makes it 28-25. Gulf Coast again trying to stay out of the full court press, and the Bears have her tangled up, and timeout has to be called by Gulf Coast. Boy, the Bears had her wrangled right there at the midcourt line, and Gulf Coast had no choice but to use the timeout with 8:07 to play. It's a full timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds, Bear basketballs on WAZA and Bear TV.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say, though, is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all.
Well, they changed it to a 30-second timeout. Gulf Coast will get the basketball to Tucker, and she'll shoot a three ball. And that puts us at 28-28 in a tied basketball game here at the Southwest Basketball Center. Taylor Ben with the basketball goes underneath to Owens. Owens the fadeaway, that one good for the Bears. Jerrion Owens has all 6 of the Bears' points in this third quarter. Bears go back up by 2, 30-28. Gulf Coast with the basketball. Bears playing the full court press, able to get out of it that time. Down the floor they give it. It goes over to the hands of Hammett. Hammett touched it for a minute. She got rid of it to Tucker. Tucker gave it back to Hammett. 3-ball fired, no good. Taylor being the rebound for Southwest. Taylor in traffic. Wants to go to Tangle, and Tangle lost it. Did she? Tried to flip it off the hand of a Gulf Coast defender, but they'll say she was the last to touch it, and Gulf Coast gets it right back. So Gulf Coast going to get this one right back. Bears will stay in that full court press. They'll pass it back into the hands of Tucker. Tucker goes to Sadler. Sadler gives it to Bridges. Bridges gets rid of it. Back to Tucker. All right, Gulf Coast throwing it around now, down to 30-28 here at First Bank Court. 10 on the shot clock showing for Gulf Coast. They throw it around. They go underneath to Sadler. Sadler brings it back out. Boy, that shot clock to 1. She finally gets the shot off, and it's no good. They used every bit of the shot clock that time. Bears got the rebound. They go to Ben. Ben gives it to McGee. McGee will give it to Etienne. Bears will try to set an offensive play here. Etienne with the basketball for Southwest. They'll back off her to McGee. McGee will go to Tangle. Tangle underneath to Owens, and she'll pick up the foul. They call it on Bridges. Bridges will get called for the foul. She'll pick up her first. 6:05 to play. It's on the floor, so the Bears will inbound it underneath their own goal. Bears will inbound it to Tangle. Tangle, the quick shot, up, no good. Wansley grabs the rebound for the Bears. Wansley gets it out to McGee. McGee gives it to Etienne. 13 showing on the shot clock. Etienne goes to Tangle. Goes to Wansley. Wansley gives it to Tangle. Tangle back to Wansley. Over to Etienne, who fires a 3, no good. Bears on the putback, won't fall. Wansley picks the rebound up. It won't go, and the Lady Bears on a fight for the rebound now, and jump ball going to be called. Jump ball called, and it will go the way of Gulf Coast. So Gulf Coast will get the basketball back on the jump ball. Etienne and Owens going to check out for the Bears. Bears going to get White and Bradford back into this basketball game. Gulf Coast with the basketball. They'll bring it across the timeline into the hands of McNary. McNary gets rid of it. Gulf Coast wants to throw it around. Back into McNary's hands. She'll shoot a 3, top of the key. That won't fall. The putback is blocked by the Bears as Bradford able to get her paws on it for Southwest and block it out of bounds, and they'll inbound it with 19 on the shot clock. 19 showing on the shot clock. They'll inbound it. Shot put up, won't go, and a foul called this time against the Bears. The foul is on 34. That's Courtney Bradford, who picks up her second. That's the first one against the Bears here in this third quarter. They'll send Catchings to the free throw line. First one no good. That's Sadler, not Catchings at the free throw line. Sadler at the free throw line, and she misses the first. Sadler with a second free throw coming. That one up, and that one rolls off, no good. Bears get the rebound with McGee. McGee will bring it to White. White across the timeline for the Bears. White with the basketball to McGee. McGee top of the key with it. Gives it to White. White back with the basketball. Coach Brent Harris giving them the call from the sidelines. Shot clock down to 10. Tangle to shoot the long 3. That one put up, won't go. Gulf Coast a rebound with Jackson. Jackson splits into traffic. Shot put up, rolls off the rim, won't go. Tangle picks up the rebound for the Bears. She'll give it to Wansley. Wansley hands it to White. White will bring it down. 4.5 to play here in the third quarter. Bears lead it 30-28. Anaya White with the top of the key. Goes to McGee. They flip it to Wansley. Wansley back across the court to Tangle, and a foul called against Tucker. It's Tucker's second foul, and the Bears will get a fresh 20 on that shot clock to deal with. Sydney Tango will be tasked with bringing it in to White. White thought about the three, puts it on the floor, gives it back to Tangle. Tangle goes to Wansley, back over to White. Now Wansley again, and now we have a 3-second violation called. Bears will get Bradford out, no one's back in. Gulf Coast with the basketball. They will bring it length of the floor. Tango picks her up there. She gives it off to McNary. McNary gives it right back to Tucker. They'll throw it around. Will Gulf Coast. Finally, it's back in McNary's hands again. Boy, they're still throwing it around. Now Sadler touches it. She goes into the lane, puts a shot in and good. Anaya Sadler with the shot in and good to tie us back at 30 apiece. 3:34 to play. Tangle with the basketball to Owens, over to Wansley. Wansley wants to go to Tangle underneath. Shot put up, won't go. Gulf Coast able to grab that rebound. Here they come back on the offensive end with Jackson. Jackson gonna lose it underneath to McGee. Here comes McGee to White. White flips it in, good for the Bears. Anaya White got that one to fall for Southwest. 32-30 now. Bears by 2 with 3:06 to play. Here in the third quarter, Taylor Ben will check in for Sydney Tangle. Daisy Wansley going to be given a moment to tie her shoe. They'll give her a moment for that. Gulf Coast will bring it down with 3 minutes to play. Basketball's in the hands of Jackson. Jackson has it stolen away by White. White's double team trying to hang on to the basketball, flips around and gets it to fall. Anaya White flipped it around and got it to fall for the Bears. 34-30, White was being double teamed and still able to flip her course around and get the basket. Bears by 4, Gulf Coast with the basketball, Tucker. Tucker goes down in the corner to Sadler. Sadler hands it off to McNary, and McNary will put it in. Back to a 2-point game now. White with the basketball, 2:19 to play. Here in the third period, White goes to Ben. Ben, the 3 ball, put up for the Bears, won't go. Gulf Coast picks up the rebound. Here comes Gulf Coast with Jackson on the other end with 2 minutes to play. Jackson goes underneath right there to Cronin, and Cronin able to lay that one off the backboard to make it 34-34, and Coach Brent Harris wants a full timeout. Coach Brent Harris asked for the full timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds, Bear basketball on Bear TV and WAZA.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, back here at Southwest, 34-34, Coach Brent Harris using the full timeout. Lady Bears and Lady Bulldogs both with 3 timeouts remaining for the remainder of this basketball tilt between these two teams. Bears will inbound it. They will inbound it to White. White will give it off to Carey. Carey with the basketball to Bid, over to Wansley. Wansley with the top of the key for Southwest. Wants to go underneath to Owens. Owens has it taken away from her. Wansley there, able to grab it, and she's fouled. They'll come to this end and give us the call. They'll say the foul is on Cronin, who picks up her first. Daisy Wansley will shoot a pair from the free throw line for the Bears. First one for Wansley off the front of the rim, no good. She'll have one more. So Wansley misses the first, has a second one coming for Southwest. Second free throw for Wansley. That one up, and that one falls. So Wansley gets 1 of 2. 35-34, Bears retake the lead by 1. Basketball belongs to Gulf Coast. 1:30 to play here in the third period. Basketball in the hands of Sadler. Sadler gives it to McNary. Gulf Coast in traffic, wants to put it up, no good. Rebound, oh man, it's right off the hands of Taylor Ben. She couldn't save it. Ben had it stolen away but couldn't keep her paws on it, and Gulf Coast will get it underneath their own goal. Ben checks out for the Bears. 21, that's Catchings will check back in for Gulf Coast as well. 10 showing on the shot clock. Gulf Coast will inbound it. They will inbound it to Sadler. Sadler gets it to McNary. McNary with 2, with 1. I don't think she got that one off in time. They say she did, though. The putback is no good and a foul called. Boy, how did McNary get that one off on time and they get a foul called against the Bears? And that'll put Gulf Coast at the free throw line. Catchings, who grabbed the rebound, will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. First one up, no good for Catchings. Catchings with the second free throw now. First one was no good, second one's up, that one no good. Bears clear the rebound with Owens. White will bring it down for the Bears with 1 minute showing on that clock. White with the basketball under a minute. White goes to McGee. McGee the basket for the Bears. Shyla McGee gets on the third quarter scoreboard, 37-34. 45 seconds to play. Gulf Coast with the basketball. Underneath, the Bears bring the double team. They bring it out to Hammett, and a foul called. It's offensively against Hammett. That's her second. And the Bears will bring Tangle, and it's Etienne checking back in. 38.1 to play third period. Bears lead it 37-34. Etienne with the basketball for Southwest. Etienne will give it to McGee. McGee hands it to Carey. Aaliyah with the basketball back to Etienne. Etienne top of the key with it. 10 showing on the clock now. McGee down to 7, needs some help. McGee jukes, jives into the lane, puts a shot up, it won't fall, and the rebound picked up by Gulf Coast. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Gulf Coast in a hurry for the lane. She got it off, won't go, no foul. And that's the end of the third period. 37 for the Bears, 34 for Gulf Coast. We have played 3. We'll come back for the fourth and final period after a 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds, Bear basketballs on WAZA and Bear TV. Well, to the fourth and final period we go down in Perkinston. Bears lead it 56-55, 7:41 to play. So that one long from over, this one long from over, 37-34. The Bears lead it here at the Southwest Basketball Center. We're in the fourth and final period. Etienne will give it to Carey. McGee has it up top for the Bears to Tangle. Tangle gives it back to Owens, and a foul called as Owens went to put the shot up. A foul is on 21, Catchings. Catchings going to pick up her third. And the Bears will go to the free throw line with Jerrion Owens. First one for Jerrion up, won't fall. Boy, just rolled all over the place but wouldn't get in. Owens will have a second free throw due. Second one up, and that one falls. Owens, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 38-34. Bears by 4. Gulf Coast with the basketball. Into traffic. Owens going to steal that one away. She'll give it to Etienne. Etienne gives it back to her. Oh, in traffic. Has it taken away by Gulf Coast. Boy, now Gulf Coast took that big dribble with the official's head turned, and he'll say it goes back to the Bears. They say Gulf Coast the last to touch it, so the Bears up by 4 will get it back with 9:26. Etienne will bring it down the floor for the Bears. Etienne goes to Tangle. Tangle touches it for a moment over to Owens. Owens will go to Carey at top. Bears flip it back to Etienne. Now to Tangle. Tangle underneath to Owens. Back out to McGee. 3 ball off the front of the rim. Won't go. Tangle there with the putback. Gets it in. Tangle the rebound and the putback. Bears lead it 40-34. Under 9 minutes to play. Here comes Gulf Coast on the offensive end, and they want a timeout. Gulf Coast wants a full timeout. Men's score right now. Bears lead it 58-55. It's 40-34 here, and we'll step aside for a 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds, Bear basketball on Bear TV and WAZA.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say, though, is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, back here at Southwest First Bank Court, 40-34. The Lady Bears lead this one, 8:53 to play in this contest. It's Gulf Coast who will inbound it. We were 37-34 after 3. Bears, they go underneath. Oh, it's underneath, and a foul going to be called against Southwest.
Southwest foul, number 14.
It's on Shyla McGee, who picks up her second.
At the line to shoot 2 for Gulf Coast. Number 21.
Catchings will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. So Catchings to shoot a pair for Gulf Coast. First one for Gulf Coast up, and that one good from Catchings. So Catchings will make the free throw. First one good. Bears lead cut to 5. Here comes the second free throw for Catchings. That one good too. TK Catchings will make them both from the free throw line. 40-36, 8:41 to play. Etienne with the basketball to Tangle. Tangle gives it to Owens. Owens up top with it. We'll go to McGee. And now we got a baseline foul called on Hammett. And that's Hammett's third. Ben gonna check in as it looks like Aaliyah Carey will check out for the Bears. Bears will inbound it to Owens. Owens with the basketball goes to Ben up top. Ben will give it to Etienne. 14 showing on the shot clock for the Bears. Bears with Etienne. Etienne down inside. Jump shot in. Good. Etienne gets her first basket of the game, and it comes here in the fourth quarter. 42-36. Bears in a tight one with Gulf Coast. Bears go down in the corner. Down in the corner to Sadler. Sadler brings it back out to Hammett. Now they flip it around Gulf Coast. Everybody touches it before Owens gets in front of Catchings and throws it out of bounds. They'll have 10 showing on the shot clock. Daisy Wansley going to check in for the Bears. Who does she replace? Wansley will replace Tangle. 7:54 to play. They'll inbound it to McNary, and she'll put a quick jumper in and good. McNary shot good, makes it 42-38. Etienne with the basketball goes to Wansley. Wansley gives it to Owens. Owens hands it to Ben. Ben up top with the basketball. Gives it to Etienne. Etienne to McGee underneath. McGee draws the double team. Shot put up, won't go, and the Bears keep it. Nice job, Daisy Wansley underneath. The Bears will keep the ball. Boy, Wansley played tough that time. Now she'll check out for Tangle. Etienne will get it in, bounce to Tangle. Tangle goes to McGee. McGee looking for some help, and now 3 seconds going to be called on McGee. And now Wansley going to check right back in. Who does she grab this time? She's going to grab Tangle again. So Tangle will check out. Wansley back in, 42-38. The Bears lead it. Bear men with about 4.5 to play in their contest. They're leading Gulf Coast right now. 42-38 the score here in women's action. Basketball with McNary. McNary goes to Jackson. Jackson gives it to Tillman, and that one's thrown underneath. And there is Jerrion Owens to take it away. Owens will give it to Etienne. Back to Owens underneath and a basket. Jerrion Owens gets the basket for the Bears to make it a 44-38 game. Low-scoring game here. Bears lead it 44-38. A team averaging in the Bears 74 a game, and Gulf Coast averaging 57 a game. 44-38, 6:35 to play. Basketball in the hands of Tillman. Tillman goes to Jackson. Now down in the corner to McNary, and boy, McNary gives it to Catchings, and somehow Catchings got herself wide open. 44-40. The lead down to 4 with 6:18 to play. Basketball in the hands of the Bears. Bears toss it around. It's Wansley, top of the key with it. Excuse me. Wansley gives it to Etienne. Etienne's jump shot good. 46-40 the score. Bears by 6. Basketball belongs to Gulf Coast. Jackson will hand it across the way to Tillman. Tillman with the basketball. Goes down to McNary. She'll shoot a 3. That one no good. And now a foul going to be called against Gulf Coast. 31. It's Sadler who picks up the foul. And that's the third of this fourth quarter against Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast will get Tucker back in. She'll check in for Beverly Tillman. Bears lead it by 6, 46-40. Etienne with the basketball to McGee. McGee puts it on the floor. Gives it to Ben. Ben to Etienne. 3-ball in and good. Michaela Etienne, who has been quiet all night, has come to life here in the fourth period. 49-40, the Bears lead to 9. Gulf Coast with the basketball with McNary up top. McNary up top with the basketball. Down in the lane, brings it out to Jackson. Jackson goes to the hoop, tried to force the foul. No whistle, and McGee picks it up for Southwest. McGee gives it to Etienne. Etienne brings it down the floor for the Bears. Etienne over to McGee. McGee, top of the key, gives it back to Etienne. Etienne with the basketball, 4:40 to play. Etienne to McGee. McGee gives it back to her. She'll go to the hoop, put it in. Michaela Etienne will make it 51-40. Here comes Gulf Coast back on the offensive end. 4:22 to play, and Gulf Coast wants a timeout. Full timeout taken by Gulf Coast. Tell you what, let's step aside for a 30-second break. Back in 30 seconds. Lady Bear basketball is on WAZA. You're watching Lady Bear basketball on Bear TV.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
Well, the Bear men are up 65-61 with 2:49 to play. Make it 67-61 with 2:43 to play. Down in Perkinston, the Bear men and Coach Brian Bender needing a win against Gulf Coast. They've fallen on hard times lately, losing 4 in a row, but still very much in that South Division contest down at Perkinston. Lady Bears here lead at 51-40. Gulf Coast with the basketball in the hands of Jackson. Jackson goes up top to Sadler. Sadler gets it back to Jackson. Lady Bears on the defensive end with 4:09 to play. They'll give it to Hammett. Hammett goes to Sadler, and underneath a foul called against the Bears. 34, Bradford. He's saying Bradford's not on the floor. It's got to be Owens. Owens picks up her third. And Sadler to the free throw line. First one for Sadler is up and good. She makes the first. Makes it 51-41, cuts it to 10. She can cut it to single digits if she makes this one. She does, and that's what she'll do. She'll cut it to single digits, make it a 9-point game. Lady Bears lead it 51-42, 4 minutes to play. Etienne gets it to McGee. McGee to Bradford. Bradford gives it back up top to Etienne. Etienne with the basketball for the Bears. Goes to Wansley. Wansley with 3:49 to play will give it to Taylor Ben. Taylor Ben with the basketball. Puts it on the floor. Had it taken, got it back, now has her shot blocked. Into the hands of Gulf Coast it goes. And going down the floor to and the foul going to be called against the Bears. They call Michaela Etienne for the foul, and Gulf Coast will go back to the free throw line. Wansley will go to the free throw line. (51-42), the Gulf Coast Bulldogs with Hammett to the free throw line. Up good. Hammett will make the first. 51-43. Second free throw coming for Gulf Coast. That one up, and that one rolls off, no good. Bears get the rebound with McGee. McGee will give it to Etienne. Here come the Bears. Etienne will cross the timeline with it to Tangle. Tangle goes to Owens up top over to Ben. Taylor Ben with the basketball for the Bears to Etienne. Etienne down in the lane, lost it. Picked up by Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast takes that one away. Gulf Coast brings it down with Jackson. Jackson with the basketball. Hands it to Hammett. Hammett gives it back. They go to Epps. Epps gives it back to Jackson. They flip it around. 3-ball put up and gets in for number 3, Hammett. It rolled around but got home. 51-46. Taylor Ben will give it to Etienne. Etienne gives it back to Ben. Now Owens has it for the Bears. Jerrion will give it to McGee. McGee's jumper, front of the rim, put up, won't go. 51-46. Gulf Coast coming back in this one on the Bears. Goes underneath, wide open there to lay it in is Catchings. Catchings makes it 51-48. 2:20 to play. Boy, the full court press right now coming from Gulf Coast. Bears give it to Etienne, and Coach Brent Harris wants to use a timeout. Coach Brent Harris will use a timeout. 51-48. The Bear lead has been chopped by Gulf Coast. And 69-67, 37 seconds remaining in that men's basketball game. down at Gulf Coast. You'll remember that basketball game in men's action came down to a shot at the buzzer for the Bears to win here at home. They're down 2 to Gulf Coast. The Bears do have the basketball down in Perkinston, though. Coach Brent Harris uses the timeout with 2:13 to play here. His Lady Bears up 51-48. Tangle right in front of us will inbound the basketball for the Bears. Tangle will inbound it for Southwest. Etienne gets loose, grabs it. 20 showing on the shot clock. Etienne will give it to Ben. Ben goes to McGee. McGee underneath, lost it, got it to KK out of the corner. Her 3-ball put up won't go. Bears couldn't get that one to fall. Gulf Coast now in traffic, has it taken away and a foul called. I think it's against Gulf Coast. We'll see, though. We got a player down for Gulf Coast. The foul's on 31. It is on Sadler, who picks up her second. A foul right there in front of the Gulf Coast bench. And I think it's Sadler who was injured on the play as well. She'll go to the sideline. Bears will get the basketball. They will inbound it in front of their own goal, in front of the Gulf Coast bench. Etienne with the basketball for the Bears. Bears didn't get the basket down in Perkinston and had to foul. They go to the other end to shoot the free throws now. Here it's Etienne up top with the basketball to Tangle. Tangle goes back to Etienne. Etienne thought about the 3, passed on that, puts the ball on the floor. Etienne, long 2 this time from the other end. Won't go for the Bears. Gulf Coast the rebound. Here come the Bulldogs down the floor. 1:23 to play here in the contest. They slow it down. Top of the key with Jackson. Jackson goes to Hammett. Hammett the 3-ball. Up, no good. Rebound picked up, no good. This one's on the floor. Etienne's got it for Southwest with 1:09 to play. Etienne's got it with 1:09 to play. Bears just lost to 69-67 down at Gulf Coast. Here the Bears have it with 55 seconds to play, 14 showing on the shot clock. Etienne with the basketball for the Bears. Gives it to McGee. McGee gives it back to Etienne. Shot off the rim. Good for Michaela Etienne. Makes it 53-48. And Coach Brent Harris will use the timeout with 42.5 to play. Bear men have lost to 69-67. They have lost by 2 down in Perkinston. So Coach Brian Bender's Bears split the season series with Gulf Coast, winning by 2 here on a buzzer beater and losing by 2 down in Perkinston tonight. Bears take the rest of the week off with Coach Brian Bender. They get back to action Monday. They'll be here inside the Southwest Basketball Center to take on Meridian. 53-48, 42 and a half seconds to play. Bears huddled around Coach Brian Bender. They will break their huddle. Gulf Coast around Coach Hope Adams. They break their huddle. Both huddles broken now. Here we go. They give them 30 seconds to go on the shot clock, 40 on the game clock, so a 10-second difference. Gulf Coast with the basketball. 3-ball out of the corner, won't go. Rebound put back in the end by 21. That's Catchings who puts it in to make it 53-50. McGee going to bring it down. She'll force them to foul. They won't. So she will step out of bounds. Oh, man, stepped out of bounds. Trying to tiptoe underneath the goal, and timeout taken by Gulf Coast. 21.3 to play. Gulf Coast couldn't get the basket. Bears got the rebound. Gulf Coast chose not to foul, and McGee trying to tiptoe down the sidelines, and in the process of tiptoeing down the sideline, stepped out of bounds. So 21.3 remain, Bears by 3. 53-50. It's a 3-point lead. Don't forget the Lady Bears in action twice more this week, both on the road. They'll go to East Central Wednesday and to Pearl River on Saturday. Both those makeup games for the Lady Bears. 6 o'clock tip down up in Decatur Wednesday night. I think it's a 2 o'clock tip off against Pearl River Saturday afternoon down in Poplarville. 21.3 remain, 53-50 with the timeout. They can bring it to the half court. Gulf Coast will inbound it with McNary. McNary will give it to Catchings. Catchings gives it over to Jackson. She'll go to the hoop. Shot put up, won't go. And a foul called. I think it's on the floor, though. It's on Owens. That's her third foul. Picked up by Owens with 10.8 to play. The foul on the floor, so Gulf Coast will inbound it with 10.8. They inbound it to Jackson. She'll put a shot in and good. Jackson's basket good, and the Bears take the timeout. 53-52, Bears by 1. Now neither team has a timeout. By my records, I think I'm looking at that right. Yes, Matt Calhoun agrees, no timeouts on either side. So with 7.6 seconds to play, the Bears will not have a timeout, which means they'll have to get it in. 53-52, Bears by 1. Both these teams getting their final conversations with their head coaches. Gulf Coast has broke out of their huddle. They know what they got to do. The Bears still gathered around head coach Brent Harris as to what they need to do. Don't forget softball with Hines. A twin bill, 3 o'clock first pitch over at Lady Bear Park. On Wednesday night, we'll have both those for you on Bear TV. WAZA will have game 2 for you. Bears by 1. Again, no timeouts for Southwest. They got to get this one in bounds. Coach Brent Harris has the right personnel on this court. They get it. They got to get it in. No timeout. They get it to Etienne, and she's fouled with 6.7. It's on Epps. Etienne to the free throw line for the Bears. So Etienne to shoot a pair for Southwest. Owens will take a seat. White will check in for her. Etienne has 2 coming her way. First one makes it. Makes it a 2-point game, 54-52. Etienne with a second free throw coming. Boy, this is huge. It's good. Etienne makes them both. 55-52, there's no timeouts remaining. 6.7 to play. Bears will let Gulf Coast inbound it. With 6.7 to play, they pick it up. 5 seconds, 4, 3. They think on the 3. Here's the 3 ball. It's up. It's no good, and that's the ball game. 55-52. The Bears are going to win this one by 3. Sweep Gulf Coast and pick up in the process for the Bears. Win the number. So let's see. That's the Bear men right there. Let's see. We're going to get to it here in a minute. Pick up win number 6 on the year as the Lady Bears go to 6-3 on the year. We'll step aside, back with the numbers after a 2-minute break. Back with the numbers on this one after a 2-minute break. Lady Bear basketball right here on Bear TV and WAZA 107.7 FM.
I can say I've done a lot of things in my life. I've flown with the Eagles, rolled with the Cowboys, I've barreled through the berries. One thing I can't say though is that I did it alone. People ask me what makes a legend. I always say it's about being a part of something bigger. It's never just me. It's always one for all. Whatever comes your way, do it together.
I have rules and then I break the rules for somebody.
Period. Michaela Etienne with 13 tonight. Bears tangle with 11. 8 apiece for McGee and White. 9 for Jerrion Owens. Let's see, 3 for Carey, 2 for Bradford in this contest for Southwest. You look at the Bear fouls. 3 for Owens, 2 apiece for Bradford and McGee, and 1 for Etienne in this contest. That's how the Bear fouls checked out. For Gulf Coast, their leading scorer was TK Catchings with 16. Sadler put 10 in. Let's look at the other scoring here. 7 for Tucker, 6 for Hammett, 7 for McNary, 2 apiece for Jackson and Cronin, and 2 for Bridges in this contest as well. So that's how the scoring looks for Gulf Coast. For Gulf Coast fouls, 3 for Hammett, 3 for Catchings, 2 apiece for Tucker. Michael, we getting final numbers or not? No final numbers. So Hammett with 3, Catchings with 3, Tucker and Sadler each with 2. Bridges and Jackson and Epps all had 1 foul in this contest. We'll give you those unofficial numbers, with Michaela Etienne putting in 13, leading for the Bears. TK Catchings with 16 for Gulf Coast. Bears, let's see, they led at 14-8 after the first period. Gulf Coast led at 25-24 at the half. Bears took a 37-34 lead after 3, and the Bears will win at 55-52 by 3 as they will defeat Mississippi Gulf Coast, sweeping the season series with Gulf Coast. And again, getting their 6th win of the season, do the Lady Bears following that loss to Jones back on the 4th. Bears will go to 6-3. They will go to 3-2 here at home. They will remain 3-1 on the road. We're waiting for Dr. Britta Stevens to join us here at the table as she gets ready to come over this way. She's heading this way now. She heads this way. I want to remind you 2 more for the Lady Bears this week. Wednesday, Lady Bears make the trip to East to Central, and then on Saturday afternoon, it's Pearl River. Dr. Britta Stevens joining us right now as the Lady Bears get a win, a tight one. You know, Coach, you look at it, 55-52. You got to like the play. Your leading scorer, Michaela Etienne, all 13 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you know, a win's a win. This is a much improved Gulf Coast team from the first time we played them. You know, they've gone to Colin and won, so we knew this was going to be a test for us. But we're happy to get every win we can, especially every home win. I thought Etienne really stepped up big in the 4th quarter. She made some big shots, she made some big decisions, and she managed the game for us. So I thought she did a really good job of that.
You look at the Bears, 14-8 after 1, 25-24. You were down at the half. Was it a little bit with this team? They knew what the score to the previous game was last time you guys played Gulf Coast. Was the tightness in the first half kind of due to that? Did they almost, I don't want to say underestimate them a little bit, but not play quite as tight as they could?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the word I'm looking for, tight, yeah.
I think we were, we were a little tight. We were a little tentative to start. We also felt like it was going to be easy, and nothing is easy in this league. There's no game that's ever easy. Like I said, that's a much improved team. It's a weird week for us. It's spring break week, so it wasn't a typical day where we got up and went to class. We had our shoot around and stuff, and I know it sounds crazy, but I think all those things play into how you play and affect how you play, and we try to keep it as normal as we can, but it doesn't always work out that way. So just really pleased with the win. I thought we got some really good production off the bench again tonight. Daisy Wansley, Aaliyah Carey, I thought those two girls stepped up and played big. It made big shots, big minutes. Defensively, Daisy Wansley got some unbelievable offensive rebounds that gave us second chance opportunities. So really proud of the bench's production tonight as well.
I was going to say one of the spots that you do miss Jade Miles is the offensive rebounds that she would get, but we are seeing the bench kind of pick up in her absence.
Yeah, we were really missing Jade Miles. She does a lot for us on the defensive end as far as taking charges and guarding people. That's one thing Coach and I noticed when we watched this film at Gulf Coast. It was like, man, what a great job Jade did of guarding the post. So we knew we were going to miss that, and we do. We miss her offensive rebounding. Sometimes Jade is one of those players that doesn't get a lot of credit because she doesn't score a lot of points and she doesn't have a great stat line, but the things she brings to us makes us so much better. And so our bench has had to step up, and I think they did. I thought Abby Gallagher played well. I thought Shyla McGee took 2 charges. Aaliyah Carey came in and took a charge. That may be the first charge of her career, and it was at a huge time in the game for us. So really, really happy with their production and the growth that they're showing.
Aaliyah Carey also came in and shot that 3 out of the corner, which I thought was a big 3 at the moment that it was shot as well for her. So a big one off the bench for her in that situation. Coach, you look at what's ahead for your team. Of course, with the makeup situation, had you stuck to your schedule, you'd be taking the rest of the week off, probably sending the girls home for a couple of days. Instead, you're going to keep them here. You're going to play Wednesday. You're going to play Saturday. Girls will stay with you all week on campus. You talked about this earlier. It's spring break. What's the plan for the rest of the week?
Well, we tried to paint a picture for them. It's going to be a tough week for us. We're going to have to play 6 games in 11 days. This is the first one of them. But we tried to paint the picture of we could either be practicing or we could be playing. And playing is so much more fun than practicing. So I don't know if our team even knows who we play next. We've told them we play all week, but we've tried to just focus on one game at a time. So tomorrow we'll come in. We'll do treatment. We're a little banged up. We'll do treatment with our athletic trainers tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll get in here and practice, do some shooting, talk about East Central, do some things to get ready for them, and then we go on the road to East Central. And I want us to be careful again because
I was going to say East Central kind of the same way as Gulf Coast. Is that a trap game?
Yeah, I think it is a trap game because they came here and we played them. That was their first game back off of like a 12-day COVID quarantine. Mm-hmm. They didn't have their legs under them, and we played well that night. But I don't want us to go up there and think, oh, okay, well, this is just going to be an easy game because, again, you'll get trapped. You'll get trapped into thinking that, and they're a good team.
So you got them on Wednesday. Then, of course, Pearl River. You will go down there on Saturday afternoon. Then back here, Meridian. I know you got 2 games before Meridian, but you got to have that one circled on your calendar a little bit, don't you?
Absolutely circled on our calendar. Not only are we fighting for second place with them, but we owe them a little bit. That first half may be the worst first half of basketball that we've played. Probably in 2 years. It was a really bad first half. We did come back out in the second and really play well and pushed them to double overtime. So we're seeking a little revenge on that, but I don't want to focus on that. We've got to focus on one game at a time. We need to go get East Central, and then we need to go to Pearl River, and then we can go get revenge on Meridian.
Absolutely. Coach, final question. We talked about this a little bit on the talk show, but in talking to some of the players, they kind of say the same thing. A lot of these freshmen learning the style of play in community college. Your sophomores are a tight-knit group, but they've let those freshmen in and are really showing them the game of basketball. So you got to be happy about what your sophomores are doing for your freshmen.
Yeah, really happy. And most of our freshmen are coming off the bench, but I think there's been several games where you didn't know Nia White was a freshman. She stepped right in and played just like a sophomore. Courtney Bradford, Abby Gallagher, I thought both of them provided big minutes for us tonight. Bree Brown, who doesn't get to play a lot, she is very valuable to our team. In defensively, her size stops people. So I like the way our sophomores are mentoring our freshmen. I like the way they're helping them develop. And we've got some sophomores, Aaliyah Carey, Daisy Wansley, they're sophomores, but they didn't play a lot of minutes last year, so they're having to step up big too and grow and learn. And even those freshmen that played a lot, every game is different, every season is different. Shyla McGee was our point guard last year. She's having to play the 4.
Yeah, she's not a point guard this year.
Right. KK Etienne, she tore her ACL. She didn't play any games last year. So you look at our roster and you go, oh, they got all these sophomores. but it's a little deceiving because some of those sophomores don't have experience at those positions they're playing.
You're playing a different position than they played last year because your
Right.
team was built differently last year. You win a low-scoring game 55-52, you'll take it, whether it was 3-0 or 55-52, a win's a win, right?
Win's a win. It doesn't matter how.
He'll take it. You sweep Gulf Coast here in the 2021 campaign. 2 more this week. We'll catch you again next Monday after the Meridian game, so good luck the rest of the week. It's all basketball, no classes this week, so it's all basketball for Lady Bears.
It would be perfect if it was all basketball every week and
Well,
no
yeah.
classes.
Then they would be paying the big bucks then, wouldn't they?
Right.
And
Me too.
And you'd be getting paid the
That's
big
right.
bucks. And I'd be getting paid the big bucks, and we'd all be happy then, wouldn't
There
we?
you go.
Coach Britta Stevens, thanks so much for your thoughts on the basketball game. Congratulations tonight on the win.
Thank you.
Lady Bears a winner, 52-55. Don't forget, Lady Bears back in action Wednesday. They will make the – hey, Coach Stevens, is it 2 o'clock Saturday? 2 o'clock Saturday, 6 o'clock Wednesday, 2 o'clock Saturday. Lady Bears back in action. Men, by the way, lose 69-67. They win on the buzzer here. They lose on the buzzer down in Perkinston tonight, 69-67. Thanks for joining us for Bear Basketball on WAZA and Bear TV. We appreciate you tuned in this evening. We'll see you again for Southwest Athletics on Wednesday when it's softball's turn to play a little. And then, of course, we'll catch you back on, well, actually Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday for softball action. We'll catch you again here in the Southwest Basketball Center come Monday night. Thanks for joining us as always. Final score, final time, 55-52. The ladies of Southwest win it. We'll see you next time on Bear TV and WAZA. Have a great rest of your night, folks.